Hello, fair citizens of YouTube. My name is Cubits, and now that it's available in the Nintendo Selects range here, I've taken another look at LEGO City Undercover, a game which is so much more than the kids' GTA knockoff it is often dismissed as. If you own a Wii U and are after something to sink a lot of time into, something with a very well acted, hilariously escalating action movie story, something which makes great use of the gamepad, and something which offers a rich density of gameplay variety, then tune in for the next few minutes as I dish out the deets, relatively spoiler free. First things first, let's address the big LEGO elephant in the room. The loading times in this game are fairly bad, yes, but not deal breaking once you're actually in the world. This was the biggest bugbear with many reviewers, and upon first booting the game you are looking at multiple loading screens, with one lasting for about a minute. Going between the overworld and a mission or the police station also incurs another big loading time. But reloading after a death takes only a brief moment, which has nothing on games like Splinter Cell Blacklist, where it's also a far more common occurrence. If you avoid flipping in and out of the police station, which you should rarely have to do, the gameplay is mostly seamless. On the other end of the spectrum, one of the coolest features of the game is tied to the use of the gamepad. This LEGO city is huge, and every square meter is packed with things to do. As with Zombie U, you can use the second screen as a scanner to identify and mark hidden objectives. It also has a cool aesthetic design, and an expanding toolset unlocks as the story progresses. And that brings me to the biggest differentiator from it being a straight-up GTA clone, the Unlockable Skillset. As with other LEGO games, different character classes and costumes bring new abilities, which in turn creates access to new areas and improves mobility within the game world. So the robber costume, for example, allows you to break into locked doors and paint objects. The firefighter can put out fires, rescue cats, and fill pools. The construction worker can take coffee breaks. Every costume has a multitude of functions, and the density of gameplay elements within the world will see you constantly cycling through them. Traveller's Tales has done a stupendous job with the world design. The environments are varied and interesting, and there's a great flow to the general gameplay. You'll notice a locked garage which starts a car delivery mission, then a line of studs will draw you to a free run challenge which will have you skipping across the rooftops, and that will lead you into a gang arrest scenario. More often than not, you'll be presented with several varied options at once, and you'll find yourself trying to remember to go back to visit that location later. If you enjoy getting sidetracked, this game will go full exhibit on you. As a classic LEGO kid, raised in the 80s before any of that Bionicle bollocks became a thing, it's amazing to see how authentic many of the models in this game are. I owned a bunch of these vehicles, and pined after that electric train set. I don't want to show any of the mission footage, as that's best left to a proper playthrough, but I can confidently say that the story is the best one I've experienced in a LEGO game. It's full of the typically family-friendly, yet oddly adult-oriented humour which Traveller's Tales is renowned for, loaded with references to things like Goodfellas and The Shawshank Redemption. The game is excellently voice-acted by an oddly significant number of Killzone franchise alumni, and the ending escalates the stakes to a height I can't possibly spoil. It's amazing. Each mission also integrates the same costume system, so to get 100% you're going to be playing through the missions at least twice to see everything on offer. It's fine because they're fairly compact sequences, and the extra abilities open up some new avenues. Now to touch on the negatives. Firstly, the frame rate isn't fantastic. In the missions it holds 30 fairly well, but out in the open world it's typically a bit lower than that, with the worst parts fluctuating into the teens. This doesn't hinder gameplay at all since it's more of an exploration game, but it certainly hurts the perceived quality for a Nintendo published title. The graphics themselves are quite acceptable for their time, with an authentic LEGO look to the world, some welcome self-shadowing, and none of the screen tearing which plagued the last years of the PS360. The combat is also barely existent. This game is incredibly easy, and while a couple of attacks exist, fights tend to boil down to just mashing X to counterattack until it's all over. Some of the costumes offer little variety to the combat, but it's mostly inconsequential. In missions, the fights provide an occasional break from the exploration sequences, and are short enough to rarely outstay their welcome. but if a little optional depth were added to the combat, like in Wonderful 101, it would have drastically improved my enjoyment. All in all though, the game easily succeeds in its ability to keep me following branching paths of exploration. I can get lost for hours in this world tracking down items, well after the 20 it took me to meander through the story. The unique tone and slightly Metroidvania bent helps the game to stand apart from others in the genre, different but still worthy. If this sounds like your kind of game, and you haven't picked it up yet, then it's definitely worth a go at the reduced selects price. Or if you're in the US, it's also looking like a solid Black Friday bargain. I give it some thumbs up, would buy, no regrets. If you've played this or have any other thoughts on this video, do let me know in the comments. I'd also massively appreciate a thumbs up if you're picking up what I'm putting down, and of course sub if you want to be in the loop on new stuff. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you soon with more of the good stuff.